and in particular on the disparities, as you have described rightly, which is that it is our lowest income communities and our communities of color.
How dare you!
That are most impacted by these extreme conditions.
Stop it. Get some help.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities.
What, are you retarded?
And do that work.
Queen word salad herself, Kamala Harris, comes up with another gem. Hurricane relief? Yeah, it's for the people of color first. I'm Jazz Borganzo, and this is What's Next. Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. What's next? I'm Jazz Borganzo, of course, your daily dose. Kamala Harris, the first, vice president of color, the first woman vice president of these United States, because, and she has done such a masterful job based off of qualifications like, I don't know. These days, you don't really need any qualifications, but she has become better known as Queen Word Salad. Yes, her buffoonery is becoming legendary. Not as legendary, as iconic as Joe Dementia, her boss, but she's trying to get right there with him. And it's understandable the reason why they want to keep her out of the country, send her down to Mexico, off to Great Britain, off to this country, off to that country. Of course, recently she was on Australia and she made a fool out of herself over there, slamming Japan by comparing them to North Korea. But anyway, recently she was asked regarding the hurricanes in Florida. Of course, Hurricane Ian has devastated Florida and the upper East Coast, especially the Fort Myers area. But it's going to be quite a while, and that is an understatement in regards to their recovery time. What about the money? What about the hurricane relief funds distributed? How should it be? Well, if you ask Kamala Harris, it's not based on need. It's basically based on what color your skin is. Yeah, another gem. Here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Kamala Harris promises equity in hurricane relief resources. Not everybody starts out at the same place. Vice President Kamala Harris, Queen Word Salad, or better known as knee pads, promised that she and President Joe Dementia would focus on principles of equity, environmental justice, as they work to rebuild communities after the recent hurricanes. Excuse me. It is our lowest income communities and communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions. Yes, because as we all know, hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, they go after the color people first. Are impacted by these extreme conditions, impacted by issues of not their own making. Vice President spoke at a Democratic National Committee Women's Leadership Forum, the WOMAN or Karen's Forum, and actress Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who kicked off the discussion by talking about the devastation caused by hurricanes in Florida and Puerto Rico and, of course, climate change. But we're going to hear a little bit about that, but let me just fill you in. We have to address this in a way that's giving resources to based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding that not everybody starts out the same place. Harris said she would focus on principles of environmental justice. If we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account of those disparities that do the work. She celebrated the Biden-Harris administration $370 billion flushed down the proverbial toilet of climate spending for tackling climate change. Yes, because as we all know, Democrats do control the weather. The crisis is real. The clock is ticking. The urgency in which we can act without any question. Yes, forget about China. Forget about Russia. It's about the rain. Harris said she and Biden would not only provide immediate aid, but also rebuild communities in a way that they can be resilient, not to mention adapt to these extreme weather conditions that are part of the future. But let's hear a little bit from Queen Salad.
On the point that you made about disparities, when I was district attorney of San Francisco, I was elected in 2003. I started one of the first environmental justice units of any DA's office in the country focused on this issue.
Yes,
And in particular
because
on
that has everything to do
disparities,
with
as
the,
you have described rightly, which
out of control
is
crime
that
rate that was going
it
on in your
is
state and you did
our,
nothing about it. But
lowest
anyway. Oh,
income
I'm sorry.
communities
Except
in our
arrest all the
communities
blacks.
that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. And so absolutely. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities.
My thoughts quickly. I got in a little late on this party, so I decided to throw my 2 cents in. But once again, Kamala Harris opens up mouth and shoves both legs down her throat because this is what she does best. She makes a fool, she makes an ass out of herself. So the hell with all the white people. The hell with all the Asians. Forget about them. Any Jewish people? The hell with them. Italians, Germans, the hell with them. We're just going to go with Caucasians across the board. The hell with them. It's all about the blacks and the browns. They get the monies first because, as I said just a little earlier, extreme weather conditions, climate change goes after the colored people first. It just does. Come on. Read your history. Get with the program, people. Gosh. I can see why Kamala Harris is just so, she's so animate about disparities and, everybody starts at the same place. Another reason why this country is so fucked up. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.